Hey y'all, I'm Kyle. Welcome back to Chestnut Grove Homestead. Today we've got a not super fun, but unfortunately necessary project to do today. So while we've been brush hogging and clearing out some of the area around our property currently, I have discovered at least two so far, I guess like trash dumps, where one of the previous owners just dumped whatever they decided to dump and just leave it on the ground for the next guy to clean up. And looks like I'm the next guy. So let's take a look at those and then see what we got to do to get that cleaned up. So here's our first one. This one's a bunch of, looks like a lot of styrofoam and just random household trash. Some of this actually is ours. These bed frame pieces are ours, but they just, we can burn those. They're going to get disposed of in a safe and environmentally friendly way. But this styrofoam, shouldn't burn that. So we're gonna pick all that up. Also, if we walk down here a bit, found this one tucked back in the woods. Looks like somebody set up some trash or some scrap for a little, like, I guess shooting range or something. Also found an old shovel head, and I was looking, I might look on Amazon again, but I looked to get a new shovel handle for it at Tractor Supply, and they wanted $24.99 for the new shovel handle, but they also wanted $24.99 for a whole new wooden handled shovel. And I'm like, really? That seems, So there's some old scraps of whatever, I don't even know anymore, tucked back in here. Bottles and roofing metal and some burned crap, and there's just a ton of cans and stuff tucked up over here and bottles. So I'm gonna trim a few of these branches real quick so we can work in here a little easier. So I'm gonna grab the pole saw, get these trimmed so we can get in here a little bit easier.
Behind the scenes.
Oh, yep, there's Nadia. Camera boo. All right, so I'm gonna give that back to her, and I'm gonna go grab the first tool of today's project. So I grabbed my Vevor. This is my Vevor 6-in-1 53, 52 cc. It's a combination string trimmer, pole saw, hedge trimmer, brush cutter, a whole bunch of different things. And I also have handy safety mask. So we're gonna flip the hat around, put this on. Don't be these people. If that's the only thing you get out of my videos, especially this video, it's that. Don't be this person. I'm gonna say these ironclad ranch gloves live up to their name. I'm able to touch this barbed wire and grab it without any issues. So far, probably one of my favorite pairs of gloves I've ever owned, which is saying something because I hate gloves. They always get in the way. Really not a huge gloves person. So we'll go over here, we'll grab ourselves one more tote, hopefully only one more tote. Get some of this stuff picked up. All right, now we're over here at this second trash dump. Got a brand new camera battery in the camera. I was gonna say camera in the battery, but it doesn't really make sense. Brief intermission. So let's get back to work. Well, this area is cleaned up, most of the trash. I'll turn it over with the tractor bucket, see if I can't find any more trash shoved in here. But I got the vast majority of it all, so consider that a win. I knew I'd never be able to get all of it, but at least I can say I tried. It's more so than the last person can say. So I think for this project tonight, we're gonna call it right there. So next portion of this, we're gonna get the tractor and the grapple out, try to churn this up, see if we can't sift through it a bit. But yeah, that's gonna have to wait until the yard isn't a soupy mess. So otherwise I'll just create more work for myself. So today, we've got a new toy to install here at the homestead. I got this is a 100-foot long retractable garden hose. It's a 1/2-inch garden hose. And like I said, it's 100-foot long. So we're gonna go ahead and get this mounted to the side of the house. Hoping I can get it close to this corner here so we can come around the side of the house and have it hit all down towards the driveway and everything as well. So let's go ahead and see what we can get going. All right, so first things first, we're gonna make sure the hose is off, which it wasn't. Gonna go relieve the pressure on the current hose, which is a old style manually retracting hose reel. It is less convenient, but it worked for what I needed when I needed it. Picked this one up on Amazon recently. I think it was $50 or $60. It was cheaper than I'd seen one before, so let's hope it's a decent one. And let's get this out of our way. Got the old, this was from the previous owner. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with it, but we'll find out. Oh no, I got tons of room. I'm gonna put it here close to the corner, so when it swings around, I can also use it down this way or out towards that field. So, comes with a handy little template, and it suggests using a 12mm drill bit. I don't have metric drill bits, but I do have a 1/2-inch drill bit, and that'll get me just a little bit bigger than what they wanted. I don't have a ton of wall to work with here, so I am just gonna set this. They suggest about 1 meter off the ground, but I don't have that much space to work with, so I'm just gonna come in here. So let's go ahead and drill our holes. Tip for at home, if you have the hammer drill option, use the hammer drill option. That is working amazingly. I'll peel off this sticker here. I think we're done with that now. Maybe I'll take a quick peek through the access door, make sure I didn't do anything too stupid here. got our hammer, got our expanding, looks like a drywall anchor pretty much, but assume it works in concrete too. Oh, these holes are a little large. Let's hope that's not a huge issue. Let's see why it would be. They're supposed to expand, so there we go. Didn't even need to hammer, so not sure that's a good thing or not. We have our bolts and our mounting bracket. Slide the first one in. Oh, well, that's not good. All right, lost the first one already. That's not ideal. Good thing I have a couple more. Comes with extras. I have the Milwaukee Stubby on its bolt tightening, lug nut tightening mode, so it'll only tighten to about 15 foot-pounds. I'd say that's probably not going anywhere. Might hit it each one more time. There. All right, that ain't going anywhere. So, next step after that, install base. Then we take this, schlep this over here, and we drop this like so. All right. Now, take this. All right, so reel is attached. Hook up this, which is a little long for our needs, but I'm gonna go ahead and run it underneath and behind. There's like air in it. That. So my current hose end, I have it hooked up with a shut-off valve on the end and a quick connect, so I can quickly switch between hose ends. I also have one of these quick connects on the end of my pressure washer, so I can quickly switch between attachments. So I'm gonna pull this out. Another safety cap. Make sure we're nice and tight. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if I did it right and if this thing works. Leaks. All right, no leaks there. No leaks there. Moment of truth. Well, there's 100 foot of hose to fill, so I'm assuming this takes a minute. There it goes. All right, y'all. Surprised there's not more air to be purged out of there. A little bit. But for the most part, it's a nice smooth stream. Decent pressure too. So now, the reason I add this on is so I can turn that off and swap ends without having to go all the way back here to turn this off. So now, just like that. You got that? Turn it off. And back to no end. All right, so let's just, one more thing to check. I'm gonna give this a tug. Check and see how far I can really go with this thing. I'm gonna walk with it. So it lets me get all the way out to the end of this field. And I think I still have some more to go. The end piece said something about there being a red stop section on the hose itself. So I'm gonna pull this out to the end. Just see what that looks like. And there it is. That is really hard to see though. I don't know, can y'all see that? So there is a stop sticker on it. I was hoping for something a little more obvious, but that's a lot of hose. That should be more than I ever need. Also has this nifty little retracting mechanism that moves back and forth to make sure it winds correctly. See it? So it winds it back up nicely every time. I'm having to help it a little bit right now because it's trying to drag, 50 foot of hose through the weeds, but all right, so that is that. All right, retractable hose reel has been installed. Hey y'all, Kyle here, back with a little update on our auto retracting hose reel. So I realized like the day after I installed this that I actually installed it upside down. So the part where the hose comes in and out of the reel, I guess, it's supposed to be on top. I had it flipped, so now I have flipped it back the correct way. I saw a picture as I was throwing away the direction and went, oh, I'm dumb. It happens, I rushed. Directions are overrated until they're not. But yeah, it feeds out the top, not the bottom, which actually makes it a lot easier to feed it longer distances, especially we have a bit of a valley or a dip right between the house and the rest of the yard, so it lets it feed off the top so we can nicely feed this all the way out to all corners of the yard. So I just wanted to give you all a little update on that. So if you do follow along and for some reason use my video as a how-to, which is probably not a good idea, make sure it goes in and out on the top, not the bottom. It seemed to work fine the other way, so I don't know if there's necessarily a problem with it. If you prefer that for some reason, it in theory should work, but don't quote me on that either. This is just how the directions said it was supposed to be done, and I remembered I had done it incorrectly. So for future reference, goes on top. Works great so far. We've had it, I think we've had it for like 2 weeks now set up, and it has worked great. I've been able to get around and water and spray for bugs around the yard. I've used it to drag over to the driveway area and run the pressure washer, and it worked great for that. So highly recommend this. We'll throw an Amazon affiliate link for this down in the description. But yeah, that's just our little update on that. It works great and highly recommend so far. We'll keep you posted if there's any issues with it going forward. Today we've got a little tractor DIY project going on. So we're gonna add a couple of these toolboxes to the rollover protective structure ROPS of the tractor. So let's go ahead and get started. First we're gonna take these two U-bolts here and those. So I already did some of the design work. I did the passenger side, right side of the tractor. I did the box on that side already to kind of figure out how best to do it all. So when I did this part, so when I did it for camera, it was a little bit smoother, I guess. So the first thing I did is peel off these this little reflector. And I kind of just moved it up here. We'll see how long those stick around. All right. Bolt number 1. Alright, so these are 5/16 U-bolts, so the nuts use a 1/2 inch wrench socket, whichever you're using. at the moment. Let's get these nice and tight now that they're square and spaced. All right, so I already made some templates for drilling my holes in the box. I also figured out the angle, at least for this side. I'm hoping it translates pretty easily to the other side. We'll see. So I made this little template of the other side with the bolt holes in it. See if we line up on this side. Pretty close. Close enough. There, that looks better. Alright, so what I did on the other side is I used a speed square and a couple pieces of scrap cardboard after I got my bolt pattern laid out. And I tried different angles on the side of the box until I finally settled on 15 degrees indicated on here. And then to get it to lay, or not lay, but be flat. So I'm hoping, and I'm going to check this before I drill any holes for sure, to make sure I'm not flipping this the wrong way. So these boxes are 11. Is that 11 3/8 or something like that? Yeah, it's 11 3/8 wide, so half was 5 11/16. Did all this math earlier. I do not know that off the top of my head. I wish I did. So I mark a center line. 5 11/16. I need to try to remember how high up the other side I did them so they actually match. I'm gonna go measure that real quick. 2 inches off the top of the lower sided bolt on the top. That'll be fun to figure out. Measure twice, drill once, or cut once, depending on what you're doing. Test fit, test fit, test fit. Now,
there you go.
Now when I line my holes up, I get a pretty flat. So now when you line your holes up, it looks like it's going to be level to the tractor and not the angled ROPS, because I wanted them to be flat when the ROPS were in the up position, not angled with the ROPS. It was just a preference thing. I mean, you could easily just do it the other way, and actually that would probably be a lot easier to actually just do. But I like to complicate my projects. Ask Nadia.
Yeah, extremely overcomplicates, but I mean, I do too, so hey, it works.
Had some fitment issues on the other side, so I'm over drilling my holes just a little bit so it makes life easier. So to space them out from the edge of the ROPS a bit so they open without interfering with anything, I used a couple of extra 5/16 18 thread pitched nuts, because that's what the thread pitch on these U-bolts is. Some of these big 1.5" by 5/16 fender washers. This one's on the ground. Ugh. So grab 4 of those. Have our toolbox. Head on over. Hope it doesn't rain. It's probably gonna rain. We thread these on first. Now we can take our toolbox, fit it over the U-bolts. So the last thing we're going to do, pop this pin one more time, bring this down, and I can bring it all the way down even, so I don't feel like trying to pin it right now. It doesn't open as well. Grab a marker, because I'm going to trim these bolts real quick. So they're not sticking 2 inches into my toolboxes. I already did the other side, but all right, y'all, it's been about an hour since we were so rudely interrupted by a thunderstorm. We just have a few quick things to finish up on the tractor toolboxes, and then that project will be in the books. So let's grab our cutoff wheel, which is over here somewhere in this stack of tools I threw under cover ASAP because it was starting to rain on me. So we have a Hercules small cutoff wheel and a Hercules die grinder to clean up once it's done. Table's still a little wet, but it'll be okay. I should probably have Alright, got that cleaned up. Pull these nuts off. It should fix the threads if there are any issues, and then we can remount the box for the last time. Alright, grab my nylock nuts for the final assembly. These locking nylon nuts will make it so these can't vibrate off while we're doing tractor stuff. Alright, y'all, we got those all nice and mounted. I'm going to back the tractor out of here real quick, throw the ROPS up, you can see what they look like. Maybe start filling it with some tools, see what we have laying around that might come in handy on a tractor. What do y'all think? I think they look pretty good. I think they'll hold a good bit of tools, pins, shop rags, whatever. Let's see what we got floating around for tools to stick in one of these boxes for right now. We got a dead blow hammer. Dead blow? Ooh, there's Nadia again, briefly.
It's not prepared to be on camera.
We got a couple pairs of pliers, pair of snips. We won't use the old term for those. Wouldn't want to get in trouble. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Pair of fencing pliers. Can all go up in my new box. Do not need a level anymore on the tractor, or at least not right yet. Pop that open. Good to know. We're learning things again. Always with the learning things. Is the dead blow gonna fit?
Nope.
Dead blow doesn't fit. You have a lifting strap. I think I'm gonna stick that on the other side. Try to keep one side tools, one side other stuff. Straps and pins and that sort of thing. Let me fetch that lid because I'm sure it's definitely, yep. Not as muddy as you'd think. which is surprising because everything here is muddier than you think. But that's just because I whipped it open. I think normally they stay on there, but when it overcomes its clippiness, there, see, stays on just nicely. No, I had an adjustable wrench somewhere. Yep. Adjustable wrench with a pry bar on one end. I got a pair of slip joint pliers. Big old knife that I found under our stairs, actually, but I could see how that could come in handy. Oh, and this I found on Amazon. This is really cool for all you chainsaw guys out there. It's a ratcheting scrunch, so you don't have to, you know, keep working stuff back and forth. So that's kind of nice. I don't think the knife's gonna make it. Oh, it does actually. Kind of shocked. Actually, I'm not gonna put that in there until I can get something to cover it. I'm gonna stick my hand in there and come out bleeding one day. And I'd rather not do that. So I got a couple pairs of pliers. I need a shorter hammer apparently, because the hammer is a good thing to have. A couple shop rags, probably a good thing to have. And I'm sure I'll come up with some other stuff to add in there and change and tweak our setup. So I think for today, we're gonna call that there. So that is another project in the books. We got toolboxes, one on each side of the ROPS now, for all of our tools and straps and other tractor needs storage. Hopefully it's enough. If not, we'll see where we can add some more. So thanks for watching today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you want to see more DIY tractor homesteading content. Y'all have a great week.